Welcome back to the B-List.
Welcome to the B-List, you guys.
We're back with another great movie for you.
This one is near and dear to my heart because I love Nightmare on Elm Street so much. And this one is a blight on the entire franchise, honestly.
Yes, we're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
Freddy's Revenge.
Freddy's Revenge. And to me, this is my opinion, it is the worst one in the series. And I'm even talking about
I don't even
remakes.
think that's opinion. I think it's just fact.
I think it's fact, but you know what? I thought that way about Halloween 3 and some of the reception that we got back from that.
Dude, some people are really...
They are willing to die on that
They
hill.
want to fight us for it.
Yeah, that Halloween 3
This
was
one,
the best.
though, I will say is... I'm just going to say it. It's probably the gayest horror movie out there.
It probably is.
And not in a good way.
And not not in a good way. It's
not
just
like celebrating gay love. It is just the gayest movie.
Yeah, it's a really rough one to get through. And you know, whenever I originally saw the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I saw the first one, and I didn't see the second one because I had other people say, "Oh, don't watch that one." And then I saw the third one, which also scared the hell out of me. So I thought, how bad could the second one be? So I went back and watched it as a kid, and even then, I
feel like too, you could probably look at the numbers. Like if you looked at like total views of those movies, it would be like Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6,
yeah,
like
everything else.
Because it's not good.
Right.
But that's why we're here.
We're going to talk about why we think that Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, is the worst Nightmare on Elm Street that was ever made. And you know what? The actors and directors of these movies also agree with us.
They all agree. So like this is not a hot take.
This is not a hot take. This is just a deep dive into it.
Before we get started, I would like to make a small announcement that we just hit our 3-year anniversary of doing this podcast.
We did.
And our first episode was a comparison episode of Nightmare on Elm Street and then the remake.
Yes.
If you guys want to see Baby Us do our first podcast.
We had no idea
Baby's
what we were
first
doing.
podcast, if you will. Just go back and watch that.
We had no idea what we were doing.
Absolutely no clue.
But I think that we've polished up a little bit since
we really
then,
have.
so you can at least get a good laugh out of it.
Get a good laugh out of it. I haven't watched it,
So, Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Freddy's Revenge. It was released in 1985 and has a runtime of about an hour and 27 minutes. So, average
movie for
that.
Average time for that kind of movie.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Yes. Director Jack Shoulder. Wes Craven did not direct this one.
No, he didn't because he didn't like the script.
No, and Jack Shoulder...
He knew early on that this was going to be a stinker.
Right. Jack Shoulder also...
He did Wishmaster.
He did Wishmaster 2. He did Alone in the Dark, Renegades. Did a lot of made-for-TV movies that, I didn't get to see.
Yeah,
but the writers... They accredited Wes Craven as a writer in this
because kind of like with Halloween, like you have to.
You got to include him.
You got to give credit, yeah.
Right. It's still his character, you know. And Wes Craven, if you don't know who he is, he's just...
Then stop watching this right now.
Just stop.
And just go.
This is not for you.
Educate yourself.
But just to refresh anyone's memory, or if anybody's new to the genre, he did.
He's like the Zaddy of horror.
Yeah, he did like the original Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes, everything, Swamp Thing.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. Did he do those too? Or Scream?
He
did something.
He did something like that, but I don't.
I know he did Scream.
And also the writer that was on this was David Chaskin, who did not so many.
I wrote nothing in mine because
he did like The Curse. He did I, Madman. And those are really the only ones that I really, really recognized. It was produced by New Line Cinema,
who did the first one.
Did a lot of stuff. If you're not familiar with New Line Cinema, I mean, come on, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So it just means these people read these scripts and still decided
this was
to
a
move
big
it
production.
on.
Big production. The budget was $3 million, which is some good money for 1985, and domestically it hit about $30 million at the box office.
Did you know the original writer for this wanted to do like a Rosemary's Baby type thing and wanted to do like, hey, I want to involve like a pregnant girl and we're going to do that thing. And they were like, one of the producers was pregnant at the time. So they're like, we're not going to do that. They went on to they wrote Dream Child. Like,
Dream Child.
So he still got his vision made. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
It was like a few years later.
Yeah, it's still later.
Probably should have just went with that. Should have just went with that and just
Yeah.
cut this out. But
Yeah, because it didn't make sense the way that they executed this movie. Anyway, so the actors, there's a large cast, but just to name a few, the lead character of Jesse is played by Mark Patton. And he didn't do a lot of acting after that up until the last few years. He's still in the game.
Did you know that Brad Pitt was also up for the role?
I did read that.
They said that he looked too nice. So.
Yeah. We got Kim Myers as Lisa. And she's done steady work since then, mainly TV. She also did a couple
She was
movies.
in Hellraiser.
Hellraiser Bloodline.
Yeah.
And The Sitter. Robert Russler, who plays the character of Ron Grady, who goes by Grady.
He was in Weird Science,
He
you
was in
guys,
Weird
and
Science.
Shag. Did you watch Shag? Because I love Shag. When I was a kid.
It's been so long since I've seen it. But he also did Thrashin'.
He did
was
do
in-
Thrashin'.
Yeah, and a lot of TV, of
Yeah.
course, after that too. We have honorable mention was Marshall Bell as the coach.
Who I'm 1,000% sure is just like, he's like one of those actors who's just a professional asshole. Like, he's
Yeah,
just really
that's what he
good at
does.
being a bad guy.
He's had steady work, but it's always
Yeah.
little bit parts of being the bad guy.
It's
He
that voice. He's got that gravelly, like,
Yeah, yeah.
know,
He was in
that sling blade voice. That, like,
yeah, yeah. He was in some of the bigger ones. Was like Total Recall, The Vagrant, Starship Troopers.
Yeah, Stormtroopers.
Robert England. I don't have to go into his.
Again, if you don't know Robert England,
you don't need to be here.
this is not for you.
But of course, he plays.
Go watch Martha Stewart or something, because that's not for you.
Of course, he plays Freddy Krueger.
The
and
original.
He pops up everywhere in pop culture. A lot of times playing himself.
And I read, did you know that they wanted to kind of like cheap out and not get him for this movie?
And they
were
hired a
just making-
stuntman.
And he had the wrong walk. He didn't look right.
Yeah, and so they finally agreed to Robert England's terms.
But I was
and hired
telling
him.
someone that you guys, my boyfriend's sitting in the podcast today. I was telling him that they wanted to do like just a mask like that looked like him.
Mm-hmm.
But then you run into like Back to the Future situation where like, you know, Crispin Glover didn't want to do the second one, so they just fucking stole his face.
And this is why, and it was about that time that
It was around the same time,
85,
yeah.
So Back to the Future had just come out, so they hadn't really run
you
into the
can't
Crispin-
steal people's faces.
You can't do it, and then not pay them at least,
Right.
You know,
All right, so let's get
likeness
into it.
rights. Well, let's go, Tara.
All right, so Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, opens with a bus.
With a school bus.
Kids getting off the bus. The bus driver, if you look, is Robert
It's
Englund
Robert
with
Englund.
no makeup.
Yep.
I said AKA the goat. Because he's
goat.
amazing.
Yep.
So Jesse looks very different sitting in the back of this bus. He's got like his hair's all slicked down.
Yeah.
He looks like a nerd, super creeper. I don't know what he's wearing. I don't know what's happening, but he looks real sweaty and weird.
Yeah.
And he's sitting in the back of the bus, and the kids are all walking around, and everyone's got boombox. No one's paying attention. They need to sit down.
Yeah.
If your bus driver is Freddy Krueger, I feel like he should be like, kids, please sit down.
Right.
Before I knife you to death.
Start threatening
with
them.
my finger knives.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, this is not allowed.
And everybody gets off the bus except for Jesse
And a couple of girls.
girls.
No named, nobody girls.
Yeah, just a couple girls from school.
Yeah.
And they're laughing at him and pointing, and
Yeah,
he's
it's-
uncomfortable, and
And he tries to open the window and he can't, and
he's just awkward.
the girls are like, hey, you missed our stop, and the driver is like driving faster.
Yeah, yeah. And he
now
starts driving kind of recklessly, and he goes off road
into
and like
the cliffs. Like, where is
down a hill, and it's bouncing, and they're getting bounced
where is
everywhere.
it's Springwood, right? Where is Springwood? Is it like Arizona, like the mountains of Arizona? They're
I
just like
guess.
it's just the deserts
It's just
out
like
there,
cacti and yucca.
and they end up like teetering on this cliff, like Jenga style. Like
yeah,
it all crumples around them.
Yeah,
and there's fucking lightning coming through, and I'm like, this
Yeah.
is intense.
the lightning effects though were so horrible.
So
They
bad.
it looks like cartoons.
yes, yeah,
Like,
it's not great.
For a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, you would think that by now they would really
Don't get me
just put
started
him into
between
it.
that and then like the Freddy Krueger makeup in this one.
Yeah,
It's not great.
yeah. Well, they had different makeup artists for this one.
Yes, I know. The makeup
And-
artist, he was not available, and they should have just waited.
They should have just waited. I swear.
Throw the script out, rewrite it. They could have done a lot.
Yeah,
and
or
they
just
chose
wait
not
till
to.
everyone was available.
Yes. Okay, so then cuts to mom in the kitchen cutting up tomatoes for breakfast.
Yeah, there's a lot of like weird cut tos. Like something scary is happening. Cut to, it's breakfast.
Cut to it's breakfast time.
And so mom's making breakfast, and
I said, remember when that was a thing when people would serve tomato slices for breakfast?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Gonna get your eggs
That's
and
such a
bacon
grandma
with your
thing.
tomato slices. My grandma.
A little bit of a little bit of cottage cheese on the
and
side.
in the middle of this breakfast, we hear a signature gay squeal coming from Jesse's
Oh my
room.
gosh, it's one of the girliest little
the scream
squeals.
queeniest of screams coming from upstairs.
Yes, yeah.
And his little sister asks the mom, like, why can't Jesse wake up like everybody else? And his mom's like, he's all right.
He's just having a dream.
He's not all right.
He's terrified.
He's literally sweating bullets, screaming.
He looks like he just had a KY like wrestle fight in KY.
And that's not a
'cause
gay joke. He
and that's
just
not a gay
looks that
joke.
way.
He just looks that way. He's drenched.
And we can see his room is full of boxes.
Yeah.
And he's wearing the 80s uniform for sleeping, which is the tidy whities.
Tidy whities that are ill-fitting at that. And I love whenever he gets out of bed, he like fully reaches down,
hand down, grabbing the junk.
grabbing his junk and adjusts
He's got
himself.
a slot because it's probably stuck to his leg. It's
Probably.
probably 1,000 degrees in that
He
room.
just took a bath.
So the dad, he comes downstairs and he's fully dressed. He just comes downstairs fully dressed every single time.
Yeah.
We do not see him
We don't
come
see him get
downstairs.
dressed,
He's
but
just fully dressed
he
always.
just-
Middle of the night, coming down for a drink, fully dressed.
Yep.
And the dad's like, you better get this room unpacked. And he's like, all right, being a sassy homosexual. Okay, dad.
Okay, Dad. And so,
Like,
yeah.
oof.
So he sits down to eat breakfast with sister, and she's eating a cereal.
She's eating cereal, and remember when cereal boxes had treats?
Oh, yeah.
Because she pulls out the little finger.
Yeah.
I had these.
The box of cereal is called Fu Manchus.
That's not real,
Which-
right? That can't be real.
No, that's not real at all. And she's digging around looking for the Fu Man fingers, which is like those little witches.
They're like lady fingers, like little lady fingers
Yeah, they're just
that have
the
little
long
fingernails on them.
Yeah.
I
Halloween
remember trying to do all kinds of things with like, okay, I have these on.
Yeah, playing
let
with
me-
my Barbies.
Let me get a glass of water. Just fucking spill the water. Yeah.
And of course, she puts them on, and it immediately reminds Jesse of the nightmare.
of the nightmare of Freddy Krueger, yeah.
Yeah.
So then the doorbell rings, and it's Lisa, love interest Lisa, who, she looks exactly like Meryl Streep.
That's why she was hired.
She's gorgeous.
She was hired because
beautiful,
she looked
thick,
just,
red,
yeah.
gorgeous hair. She's
She's
beautiful.
way too beautiful for this movie. Like, just way too. Like,
But
she should be.
she is the perfect
Yeah.
gay friend. Like,
Right, right.
She's an ally for sure.
Yeah, she is an ally.
She's the perfect confused teenage girl in love with a gay guy.
Right.
And then they get in the car, and he hotwires the car.
Yeah, he doesn't have a key for it. He has like a little push button, like magic trick that he does that.
And she's like, what if your
Starts
car
it.
gets stolen? He's like, no one's going to steal this car.
No
And
one's
then
going to steal it. Which,
like, go
he's
off to
probably
school.
right.
And at the school, they're already in PE, and they're having baseball practice, and we see Grady in his short shorts.
And they were having baseball practice at
in
the same
time, they're doing archery.
archery. And I thought, what if,
That seems dangerous.
like, they're.
What if the girls get pinged in the head during their archery, and
then
what
they're
if they
like,
accidentally arrow the
right,
boys?
somewhere else?
And then Lisa's friend, I didn't catch her name. Do you know Lisa's friend's name?
I don't think that they ever said her name. If they did, it
Lisa's
was,
dark-haired friend
Yeah,
with the perm.
I guess I'm
said, "You getting any Lisa?" Because they're talking about
Yeah.
Jesse.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh my God, he's just my neighbor."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, girls, talking.
Yeah.
you're-
And Jesse's staring at them, and he's making eyes.
He gets knocked out by a baseball,
and he gets hit in the head with a baseball.
and the mean coach comes over, and he's like, "You okay?"
yeah.
Just being barked at.
And the guy that hits him with the baseball is Ron Grady, the school jock, good-looking dude.
Kind of a jerk. because
Kind
he
of a
pulls
jerk.
Jesse's pants down to
Yeah.
reveal his jockstrap.
Whenever he's running the bases, Jesse tags him out, and then they tussle, and then he pulls Jesse's pants down.
Yeah, they get into a wrestling match.
you
I
see
said
his
we're
bare
5
butt.
minutes in, and it's already the gayest thing I've already seen.
There's
The
a
coach
lot of
pulls them
overtones in this.
apart, and he tells them to assume the position. Gay.
Yeah, yay.
And they end up doing push-ups, and the coach is like smoking in his office, just like
Watching them.
like a creepy gay Hitler, just watching them
Yeah.
do like weird. He's super into them, watching them. It's gay.
Yeah, he's watching them very closely.
He's very predatory. It's super
Yeah.
gross.
Well, and while they're doing the push-ups, Grady, the jock, is telling Jesse that, oh yeah, Coach hangs out at like this S&M bar, and he likes little guys like you, and he's like saying all this stuff to
Jesse,
like,
tell an adult.
yeah.
This whole movie could have been saved if you just tell an adult.
Just tell an adult.
It could just be
So
an
they've
after-school
already-
special on when you have a creepy PE coach, you tell an adult. That could have been a movie.
Yeah, so Grady is telling on Coach
Yeah.
already. And so...
And then Grady asked Jesse if he's mounting her nightly. Like,
yeah,
mounting the
are
girl.
you boning the rich girl?
Boning that rich
are
girl?
Are you mounting her nightly or what?
I said the only thing Jesse's mounting is the main stage at a drag show later. Like, he ain't
Maybe,
mounting.
yeah.
He ain't mounting nothing.
Right. So it cut to the locker room.
And they get undressed.
They're still
and
talking, and Grady said, "Hey, do you live around here?"
You live in that house on Elm Street.
Well, I thought it was funny because he's like, "So do you live around here or what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're in the
They all
same
go-
school
they all
district.
are in the
Of
same
course he lives around there."
Grady, are you okay?
He's just a dumb jock. Anyway, but he says,
Hey, you live around here, bro?
"Did you move into that big house on Elm
Yeah,
Street?"
he's like, yeah, I live over on Elm Street.
And he says, "Oh man, that house. There
That
was
crazy
a girl. She was locked in there till she went crazy, and she saw her
She watched her
boyfriend
boyfriend
get
get murdered.
butchered. Yeah, right across the street. And so, you know,
Rest in peace, I know. Glenn.
Glenn. That's
Glenn.
right, Glenn.
It was going to come to me. It's Glenn.
I was
Where
going
he
to
got
Johnny.
sucked into bed and fucking blown out
Blown
blood
out,
style.
yeah.
He did not get butchered. He was legitimately
Yeah,
just...
but
yeah.
they assumed that he was butchered by a madman.
Right.
Blah blah blah. That's the first movie.
So,
you
like,
guys
fast
know.
forward to the house. Jesse's sleeping, tossing, turning, because it's a million goddamn degrees in this fucking house. His dad was too cheap to get the air conditioner fixed.
Yeah.
And then he gets up to go downstairs, and I said, again, he's wearing jeans, sneakers, and a scrubs shirt.
Yeah,
It's a scrub top.
Yeah. And then
And-
he goes, like, outside. He hears a noise and goes outside and looks into, like, the cellar basement window.
Yeah, and he
And
sees Freddy down there.
And Freddy is retrieving something from
He's getting
the
his
furnace.
gloves out of the furnace.
Yeah, but we don't see that yet. It's all wrapped up, and
Yeah.
so he just sees him retrieving something, and then he just turns around and goes back into
He
the
goes
house.
back in to go to the basement.
and then he
to
goes
see-
down in the basement from the inside.
If you see Freddy Krueger from the outside looking in, you don't go inside.
What makes you think that
why are you
you're
looking
gonna-
for trouble? You don't go
Right.
in looking for Freddy Krueger, but he did.
And he
Freddy's
sees
there.
movement.
And he's screaming for his dad because he sees Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
and
he
he's
goes to
screaming,
find his
dad,
dad.
dad. And Freddy, super gay, says, Daddy can't help you now.
Yeah, intercepts him. Says, "Daddy can't help you.
Okay. So,
And
and
then
then
he
he
says-
says he needs him.
I need you. We
I
have
need
work to
you."
do." Anyway,
Special work to do. Gay. Anyways, so.
and then he says, "You're the body."
You've got the body, and I've got the brain. And he peels his scalp back.
But then his brain is like right under the scalp. Like
Yeah.
Freddy Krueger doesn't have a skull.
He doesn't have a skull.
He's just skin and goo.
God, he was born that way, Courtney. Jesus.
Oh, sorry, I
His
didn't-
soft spot never closed.
His
Leave him
fontanelle-
alone.
his
His fontanelle
fontanelle
never
never
closed.
closed.
Jeez. And then Jesse is gay squealing again, like the gayest little piggy on the farm.
Girly
and
same.
then his mom and dad break into his room because it was a dream.
Yeah,
and
but did you notice that Freddy's brain was also pulsating, like on one
was.
side? It's like, do our brains do that, or is that just Freddy?
little known fact, if you are a child's murderer, your brain pulsates.
Oh, okay.
That's what's wrong with you.
Oh, okay.
Frontal lobe is pulsating.
Got it. Okay.
called
Mental
science.
note.
It's
Now I
called
know.
science, Courtney.
Sorry, I don't believe in science.
So then his mom says she wants to call a doctor for bad dreams.
And he's like, "Nah, it's just bad dreams."
yeah, the dad's like, come on, I'm not going to pay to get the air conditioner fixed. You want me to,
You want me to
take this kid
send
to
my
a doctor?
You want to send my kid to therapy? So
So-
cut to school again.
It's science class.
It's
and
science.
The kids are making fart noises, as one does. And
They're talking about biology.
biology. Jesse's
and
falling
Jesse's falling asleep.
And then there's a snake around his neck.
Yeah.
And creepy music.
Before that, the professor's like, "This is a heart, Platt," and it's like drops like a slab of meat that's not a heart.
It's
It
not
looks
a
like a
heart.
brisket.
Yeah.
But he's talking about this heart on his desk, and that seems so unsanitary and not even the right part.
It
but
was the 80s. And then there's a snake around his neck, and he wakes up screaming like the queen he is, and Grady and his friend are laughing. And I'm like, where'd this? And the teacher's mad about the snake.
the teacher's like, quit messing around.
So yeah, the teacher is super mad about the stupid snake. And my question is, where the fuck did the snake even come from?
It
It's
just
a
appears.
biology class, and I don't appreciate that.
Right. And it just appears. It's like, bing.
Was it
there's a
Freddy?
snake.
Did Freddy do it? I
Did
don't
one of the
even
other
know.
students do it?
Like,
I have no
I
idea.
have a feeling like because Grady kept like looking over at him and like laughing because he was falling asleep. Like, am I to believe Grady put the snake around his neck and then sat down because it didn't show that, or was
Yeah.
it Freddy? Because Freddy is not allowed to cut. Like,
He's not supposed to be outside of dreams.
First of all, he is a diddler. He's not even allowed near the school. So
Right. Right. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. They're breaking the rules, which, again, Robert Englund hated that.
Yeah, you're not supposed to
establish the rules in the
whole
first.
point is if you bring him out of the dream, then
can't
he
survive.
loses his power and he dies.
Right.
That's what happened in the first one. I don't appreciate them breaking the fucking rules.
Yeah, I hate when they do that. Again...
And they do it in other series, too. It's like, wait a minute. You didn't tell me that this was what was happening.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyways, we fast forward to Lisa swimming in her big, giant, rad pool. Her mom comes
'cause
out
she's
and
the
says
rich
Jesse's
girl.
on the phone. Jesse wants to take her on a date. But Jesse can't fucking leave the house because his dad's a big asshole and says, no,
go unpack your room.
Yeah. So he goes upstairs, puts on music because any queen wants to dance to music.
Yeah,
while
and
they're
he
cleaning.
dances. And it was supposed to be reminiscent of Risky Business, but it just ended up a whole lot
If
longer.
Risky Business
and a
was
whole
about a gay kid being tortured by his dreams, then yes.
Yes, then you'd have it. Yeah. And so, anyway, Lisa comes over at that point and
So like the
catches him dancing.
And like the
silly.
good beard that she is, she helps him unpack his room.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Any gay friend would do that for
And
you.
so they do that.
And she picks up the jock itch spray and says, "Where does this go?" And I said, "It's
It's
probably..."
like she's trying to embarrass him.
Yes, and I said, "It's probably with the condoms and the anal beads, Lisa, in the drawer over there. Just put it up.
Just put it up. Just put it away.
Why are you making it weird?"
And so she goes to put sweaters up in his closet, his clothes and everything, and they find a diary up there hidden,
And it's
they're
Nancy's diary
and
from
it's
the first
Nancy's.
movie.
It's Nancy's
When
diary.
she was packing to go to college after, her mom got yeeted through the window in the first movie, she decided that she was going to pack everything but the diary.
But her diary.
It's like a how-to. She's going to leave it there.
Right, and so they start reading from this diary, and she's talking about, her little obsession with Glenn
Sexy
across
Glenn,
the street.
hot young Johnny Depp.
Yeah, and so, but then it starts getting into, the man in her dreams and wearing the sweater, and he's burned up and everything, and Jesse recognizes,
That would be pretty weird.
yeah, it is, yeah, that like, holy
You find
shit.
an old journal in your house and it's telling about the exact dude
dude that you've been dreaming about.
Yeah. But I'm sure he's also like, describe hot Glenn.
Yeah, I want to hear more
Describe-
about Glenn.
Tell me more about Glenn.
And so
Anyways,
So
fast forward.
he does recognize that this is the guy from his
Right,
dreams
this
and
is what's
everything,
happening.
and she's like, the answers are in this diary, and then it cuts again. Cuts
Cuts
something
again
else.
to Jesse's asleep and melting because it's 1,000,000 degrees.
Yeah, he turns
Please
on the light.
fix the air conditioning.
Yeah, the lamp is melting. The records are like melting.
Everything's
on the
melting
edge,
over.
and-
That's a pretty cool effect.
I mean, it was
like
really
that.
cool.
It
Like,
was neat
it's
to
getting
see.
really hot in that room, but I would think that you wouldn't even be. I'd be running out of the room, like into the yard to get away from that if it was that hot. That it was.
Freddy Krueger as a burn victim, I'm surprised he's not complaining.
Right.
Because your skin's already
He
super
can't
sensitive.
sweat anymore.
No, he can't sweat. His sweat glands are gone. But so yeah, he gets up and he's dressed again. He's wearing sweats and he goes downstairs to the basement and he finds Freddy's glove there.
Yeah, it's all wrapped up in the furnace, like where Nancy's mom had hidden it
Yes.
in the last
Maybe
movie.
stop hiding the murder weapon in the fucking house, you
Right.
guys. Why is the glove always there?
Why aren't you turning that over to the police?
Well, and you know what? This house has such significance, and you find out like way later, like in Nightmare on Elm Street, like 6, I think it is, that was Freddy's house.
Oh, okay.
Freddy.
Yeah,
lived in that
okay,
house.
yeah. I do remember that.
So like that's why it's this house every time. Because
Yeah.
you wonder why, and when it's in every movie.
Right.
But yeah.
And so whenever he finds this glove, Freddy
says-
appears,
He says, "Put it on. Try it on for size."
and he throws it away.
He screams, "Ah!" and then throws it like
Throws it.
super gay. And Freddy says, "Kill for me." And then he wakes up, but
He
the glove
trips
is-
and falls.
Yeah, trips and falls, which wakes him up.
Wakes him up, and he's got the glove on his
And the
hand.
glove is there.
And Freddy's gone.
Yes.
And
And then later on, him and Lisa are talking about it at school, and she says maybe it's a premonition.
maybe it's a premonition.
That's not what a premonition is, but
It's okay.
We're gonna let it slide, Lisa.
You
Whatever.
know.
And then they start talking about Lisa's party.
Right. Lisa's little dark-haired friend shows back up and is like, "Can't wait till your party, Lisa."
Yeah.
So-
Maybe an exposition queen over here.
Yeah.
There's
Bye.
a party. There's a party coming. Anyway,
There's a
bye.
party. Bye.
Yeah. Okay. That's all we're gonna get out of that. Because guess what? It's more PE time.
Yeah. So they go back to PE.
And Brady and Jesse are talking about dreams because that's what you do with your bro friend.
right. Especially one that you're fighting
That's
with.
what you talk about
all
your
the time.
friends with, right? You and your buddies are just talking about, hey man, You ever have weird dreams about a burn victim who's trying to torture you?
Yeah. Yeah. And so they get in trouble and have to start doing more push-ups.
Yes, because in the locker room they're talking shit about the coach. He's right there.
He's like right behind
and
you.
And you
like,
know he's going to be behind you because he's creepy as fuck and definitely a child molester and standing right there.
Creeping on these kids. And he loves watching them do push-ups.
He loves watching you guys do push-ups. That's his kink.
Anyway, gym class over. Cut to...
It's the house again.
It's the house again. And
Mom...
it's
super hot. And Mom is like, God damn it, can we please get the AC fixed?
Get the AC fixed.
That's cause for divorce. Because if it's 90 degrees in the house...
It was 97.
97!
He's like, let me see what the thermostat says. Yeah, let me see what the thermostat says. Yeah, it's 97
Yeah, I'm going to look at the thermostat, because that'll fix it.
And so while he's looking at the thermostat, the bird cages that she had just covered up for the night, they start shaking and rattling.
Something's happening.
And so she's like, what's going on with the birds?
And you know what? Before this happens, Jesse puts his hand on his little hip and he is like, my God, it is hot as an oven in here. And that's exactly what And everyone, like, in the documentary, everything, it's always about, like, how Mark Patton is a closeted gay man. I was like, is he even in the closet? Is the closet in the room with us? Because, like, it is hot as an oven in here. Like, that's exactly how he says it.
Yeah.
He's gay inflection.
And so...
yeah, the bird cage is rattling.
So the bird cages are rattling and everything, and they uncover him. One's dead, and the other one flies out and
floops out of the room because this bird's trying to get some air.
Yeah, trying to get some air, but it also attacks them, and it, like, knocks over lamps and everything, and then it just bursts into flames and explodes.
And then the dad says he thinks it's a gas leak.
Yeah, he's trying to move the oven and he's looking for a gas leak because there's got to be some explanation.
Surefire way to know if there's a gas leak in your house is bird explosions.
The bird explosions.
If you have bird explosions in
Isn't that why they took canaries into mines? If they blew up, there's too much gas.
He says, and then he gets, because he's trying to come up with, like, a logical excuse for why this fucking bird exploded, and then he's mad at Jesse, and he says, I think you did this with a cherry bomb.
You did this with a cherry bomb or fireworks.
Did he feed the fire bomb? Did he feed it to the bird, and then it exploded from in his stomach like a goddamn Looney Tunes cartoon?
What do you think that your son is doing? Your son seems like a perfectly sweet kid, and suddenly he's blowing up the family pets with...
And he says, you did this with a cherry bomb, and then Jesse says... You can't talk to me like that.
You can't talk to me like that. And even his mom.
I said, gay. So gay. The gayest.
He's gay.
You can't talk to me like that. And fast forward, Jesse's asleep again. Because why wouldn't he be?
Yeah. Well, his mom was even like, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Leave him alone. And so then he stomps off to bed. And
yeah, he stomps off to bed. And he angrily falls asleep. And then he gets up, fully dressed again. To go downstairs. And he's walking outside in the rain.
Well, what did you notice? He goes back downstairs. He's not able to sleep. And so he, like, gets a drink or something at the sink. And lightning comes through the window and, like, strikes the dishes.
Yeah. Like, probably has something to do with that gas leak.
Probably has something to do with... They need to clean those dishes better.
Because God is smiting them.
God is smiting you.
Smiting them with gas leaks and dead birds.
And burned up dishes.
So anyway, Jesse's gay and wet and walking in the rain, and he comes across a place called Dom's Place.
Don's Place, yeah.
Which is like the leather daddy bar.
Yeah, it's a little seedy bar, and it's full of, like,
says gay in all caps here.
Yeah.
And then he asks for a beer, and
he starts to drink it when Coach finds him drinking the beer.
Coach comes,
and he's wearing
a leather vest.
He's wearing a stereotypical gay daddy outfit. Like,
I'm offended for everyone. I'm offended for gays.
Everyone.
I'm offended for leather people.
Yeah.
I'm offended, like, the whole community. I'm just offended.
Yeah.
For everybody.
And he's, of course... why would you reveal yourself to one of your students at this particular
And then
bar?
why would you take him back to your place of work to make him run in the gym?
He takes him back to the gym and then makes him work.
I said, immediately no. Unsafe. Call an adult.
Yeah.
And then he tells him to take a shower. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Will I go to the showers and get undressed and vulnerable?
This poor kid
I said, no, girl, don't do it. It's not safe.
Yeah, no. He took you back to the gym by yourself to make you run and take showers. This is not a safe situation. Get out.
After,
whatever.
I mean, he probably let him finish the beer.
Probably.
Let's get you a little drunk, kid.
Let's get you a little tipsy, and then we're going to go back to the gym.
Yeah.
And so
The coach is in his office again, and then he hears the sports equipment starts going kind of crazy.
like the what are the?
I said he gets pegged by some balls, pun intended.
Right, balls are flying at him.
Balls are flying at him, which he enjoys in other situations.
Not
also,
this one. Other scary things are happening, like the strings on the tennis. The what do they call it? The catgut starts to
catgut.
Yeah, it starts snapping.
Why is it called that?
Because they used to use like cat guts and sheep guts and stuff.
What's the actual living fuck?
Yeah.
What the homicidal frying fuck is that? Yeah. That sounds
I learned that in tennis class. But it's
tennis class?
Yeah.
Okay, fancy. Where'd you go to school?
Wayside Middle School.
All right, then. Anyways.
But yeah, it starts snapping. It's starting to heat up in there, and so the strings are starting to snap.
Everything's like pinging, yeah.
And things are flying at him.
And then a jump rope comes.
And ties him up.
Which again, I'm sure he likes in other situations.
He's
I'm not here to kink shame anybody.
By the way, isn't he still wearing like his leather vest?
He's wearing the leather outfit.
And
he's wearing the leather outfit.
So
he gets strung up in the showers.
It drags him into the showers while Jesse's in the shower.
And then it strips him down. Strips his bare ass down.
Yeah,
and it starts getting...
Like the towels start snapping him.
He gets snapped by towels, which again, I'm sure he likes in other situations. He's not enjoying this. This is no consent.
He did not protest. So it stings a little bit.
Which makes me also wonder, is Freddy kind of gay?
I think Freddy just likes to diddle in general. He's just a general diddler.
Equal opportunity diddlist.
Yeah. He doesn't see age, race, color. He doesn't see any of that.
He doesn't see any of that.
No.
All he sees is flesh for him to spank and murder.
Yeah.
Which is...
to make really uncomfortable.
This video is going to get taken down immediately. That's okay. And so... out of the steam steps Freddy.
Yeah. Hey, Freddy appears.
And slashes the ever-loving shit
and
out of the...
Just slashes him to death. Blood starts coming out of the showers.
And then Jesse screams.
Screams like a girl.
Gay screams at the tippy-toppest of his lungs. And then he's wearing the glove.
And he's wearing the glove again. How does he keep getting this glove? Like, it just appears out of nowhere.
Because Freddy is inside him.
Okay, so...
non-consensually, Freddy has gotten inside him.
Well, yeah, of course. But the glove is still a physical object.
It is.
That just appears and disappears. But whatever. Okay.
So, fast forward, Jesse's being brought home from the cops. The cops have brought him home.
Yeah, then cut to
he's covered in a towel.
He's and the cops are like, hey, we found him walking down the highway completely naked. So you better keep him on a short leash. Not,
oh my God, what's going on in this house?
Your boy is having a mental health breakdown, so we need to take him to the hospital.
Yeah, we're going to take him to the hospital. No, they're just
your kid's walking around naked.
It was the 80s.
It was the 80s.
And then the dad says, I'm going to ask you this, son. What are you taking and where'd you get it from?
Yeah,
because he thinks he's on drugs. Mm-hmm. He's not on drugs. Mm-hmm. And then cut to the dad putting bars on the windows. Because that's going to... Mm-hmm. That's going to fix things. They tried that in the first movie. That didn't help either.
Right.
And then Jesse goes to school, and the mom says that he needs professional help, and the dad says he needs to get a kick in the butt or go to a methadone clinic.
Go to a methadone clinic or kick in the butt.
He says methadone.
Yeah, but
I think he thinks that methadone is a dinosaur. It's
methadone.
Not the methadone.
The methadone.
He is the dinosaur that helps kids kick drugs.
The methadone sounds like a convenience store meth dealer. Like, hey man, I'm gonna go see the methadone tonight.
He's like, how much meth do you need?
How much you got? I got it in my horn. Because he's a dinosaur.
I was imagining a mob boss, and then you said horn, and I got confused.
I'm picturing more like a triceratops in a leather jacket.
like a leather daddy type of guy?
Well, yeah, I've been conditioned by this movie now.
That's true.
So, anyway.
Everyone wears leather. So then you fast forward to the school, and they find out that the coach is dead.
And that's all you really get out of the school.
Jesse's surprised, but somehow not surprised.
Yeah, And they said some maniac hacked him up. So
cut to Jesse wakes up again.
Cuts to
from the sleepy times.
Yeah, and he hears noises.
Yeah.
So he gets up in his skivvies again.
And it's the claw in the drawer.
It's the glove, just making noise and moving in the drawer.
And he hears Freddy somehow say, "Kill for me.
Kill for me."
And he gets dressed. because you gotta get dressed.
His dress and leaves his room again.
Leaves his room and he
opens
opens
the
the door
door
and he sees the little girls in the white dresses playing jump rope.
I think it's his sister. His little sister.
No, wait. This is before that. It's the girls. They're girls jumping rope.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Those girls, the dream girls, like jumping
Right.
rope. And then they're playing jump rope and singing the Freddy song.
Yeah, it's his sister. He goes into his sister's room and it's her sister jumping rope. This is the first time he sees his sister. And she's in slow-mo singing the Freddy song.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And then he
cut to
shuts the
breakfast.
door.
Cut to breakfast.
So it cuts
It's
to breakfast.
And Jesse comes downstairs and gets coffee. And you know what? This is the telltale sign that your kid hasn't seen Freddy, because your teenager who has never drank coffee before is all of a sudden drinking lots of coffee.
Yeah.
And he asks about the previous owners of the house and, like, how did we get this deal? And then the toaster catches fire out of nowhere. Must be that damn gas leak.
Just bursts into flames.
And the dad says, there's nothing wrong with this house.
And he asked the dad, he's like, why did it take so long for this house to sell? And he was like, oh, I don't know. And he was like, well, did anybody ever tell you about the girl that went crazy?
But it didn't take long because the movies are only 3 years apart.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he was like, well, yeah, I knew about all that, but it was a great deal in the house. So
It was a great deal in the house.
Just drop it. And that's when the toaster burst into flames, like.
And
okay.
then the dad says there's nothing wrong with this house. And then he says the toaster wasn't even plugged in.
Yeah,
so
lifts
wait,
up
is
the
there
plug.
nothing wrong with the house? Or
Like, that's suspicious, right? Your toaster.
I don't think gas leaks cause your toaster to catch fire.
Right.
Or cherry bombs, if I'm being honest.
I don't know.
think that's what's happening.
I don't know. Again, I don't believe in science, so.
Cut to Lisa takes Jesse to the old power plant where Freddy brought his kids.
Yeah.
Because they're going on a field trip.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So it's
And she's telling him all along, I think you might be a little psychic. And you didn't kill Coach. You're just psychic. Yeah.
That's not what psychic means.
That's not what it means, but whatever. So she takes
So they
him to the
wander
power
around
plant.
and she tells him the story about how he kidnapped 20 kids and killed them.
And he killed them there, and
no one is saying the diddler part out loud.
Yeah, nobody
That's
ever
what
really
bothers
does.
me. Even as a child, I knew that Freddy Krueger was a diddler.
Yeah.
No one says it. You don't just like take kids and kill them. They're for sure getting sexually assaulted.
Right. There's nothing. It's not just a clean kill. You got to make it as traumatic and awful as possible.
Freddy Krueger is the most dramatic person.
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
all the things to these kids.
Exactly.
And
then
they find an old locker and they go, and
Yeah.
it's like all the music builds up. You think they're going to find
Think they're
something in
gonna
this
find
locker.
something.
No, it's a big old nothing burger.
It's a rat.
It's a rat.
So
So back at the house, the furnace sparks up again, and POV, the little sister's room.
yeah.
Freddy says, "Wake up, little girl."
Yeah, and then she kind of wakes up and she's like, "What time is it?"
What time is it?
And
And then it's Jesse.
It's
all
Jesse.
sweaty, but he's wearing the glove.
and he's wearing the glove over her, and he tells her, "Just go back to sleep."
Just go back to sleep. Everything's cool here.
Everything's
just sweaty.
cool.
I'm just sweaty and I have this
Yeah.
murder glove on.
Yeah, and so that's when he starts taking more caffeine pills.
Don't be a bitch about it, sister.
Yeah.
Just go to sleep.
Shut your mouth.
So yeah, I said he starts taking Stay Up, the caffeine pill, which I'm pretty sure he got from another Jesse Spano from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, she got rid of him because she was so scared.
Now our Jesse will also be so excited, so scared.
So scared.
He takes 3 with a soda, and I'm pretty sure his little heart's gonna explode in his little gay chest because that's a lot of caffeine.
That's so much.
So
And so they cut to lunch the next day, and I guess he and Grady are friends now, even though
and
they fight
Lisa
all the
says
time.
she can tell he had a nightmare.
Yeah.
I say this with my whole heart. I've been friends with you for over 20 years, and I don't know if you've had a nightmare.
No, I don't. I usually don't remember my nightmares.
But you're also not like ham-fisting diet pills and drinking a bunch of soda.
No,
either.
not.
If you're all hopped up on caffeine, I might be able to tell. But
I can only have 1 cup of coffee a day
Yeah.
because I have to pee.
for me, it just ruins my stomach. So
Right.
At lunch, Grady asks if he wants to hang out, and
Yeah, Grady's like, let's go to the movies and get a pizza or something. Let's just forget all this.
and he's eating way too much. It's really gross.
Yeah.
The way he's eating this food. It's
Yeah.
super, super gross.
Yeah.
And he says he can't go to the party because he's grounded because he threw his grandmother
grandmother
down
down
a
the
flight of
stairs.
stairs. What? More information, please. Is
let's
the grandma old K? Is he kidding? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know Grady
know.
like that.
I don't know Grady like that. And, I just want to hear more about this. But
I'm telling
whatever.
you what, if one of my kids fucking pushed my mom down some stairs, you'd be more than grounded. I'll tell you that right now. Fucking grounded. Please.
That's like some military school type
That's
stuff.
1000%. So fast forward, now we're at the party. We're at the party, and Lisa's dad's grilling burgers and
Yeah,
dogs.
her mom and dad's there.
Kids are in the pool. Everyone's having a good time.
Except for Jesse. He's being a real downer. He's not having a
fucking
good time.
downer. He's going to the pool house just being a little sad sack.
Sitting in a chair.
Yeah, I'm saying.
So, whatever.
And then the mom takes the dad, and they go upstairs.
They're like, you guys have fun. We're going to go to bed. And Jesse...
He passes the tongs off to a child. He's like, here you go, grill.
Here you go. Of course, he's just cooking hot dogs. It's not
And
that
hamburgers.
Hard. Was there hamburgers?
There was
I didn't see that.
And she follows Jesse into the pool house, and she says she wants to help. And he says, how? And I say, to experience heterosexual sex and finally realize that you're gay? Mm-hmm. Stop chasing him.
Yeah, but they do start making out.
They start making out, which is for sure when he realizes that he's gay.
And so the party starts to get louder outside because mom and dad went to bed.
Yeah, they're having drinks up in their bedroom.
Yeah, they're having drinks in their bedroom. The party starts to get louder.
Well, they wait for the lights to turn off in the parents' room, and then they're like, "Oh, party!
Party!"
And then they're like, cool music on. It's super loud, and then they bring out like a little wagon,
like a red wagon full of beer.
Where was that?
Yeah.
Who had that? Was it hiding in the bushes?
Right.
It's not on ice. These fucking idiot kids are just drinking hot beer.
I don't know. I've been there. So.
Gross. So Jesse and Lisa are making out, and he starts to kiss down her body, and it looks so unnatural because he's super gay.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
And then a giant gray tongue comes out of his mouth.
Yeah,
and I'm like, did Freddy have a giant gray tongue?
I don't recall it being like that, but whatever. He shoves it back in his face before Lisa can see.
Yeah. And then he just puts his shoes on and leaves.
Then he's like, I can't do this. And
I'm like, he's gay, girl.
Yeah, he's gay, girl. And he's got a weird tongue.
He's got a weird tongue.
Just stay away.
Don't be a part of that. It's like, cool. It's like rotten beef jerky coming out of that mouth. And so he goes to Grady's house. How does he get in?
I don't know. He just shows up in Grady's room.
Up literally in Grady's face.
In his face. Wakes him up, and he's like, hey, I got to stay here for the night.
Covers his mouth.
Yeah. Again. Come on, dude.
I said, this is where his heart truly lies.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for these two.
And then he says, I got to stay the night. I got to lay low.
Everything.
And so I killed Coach. There's something inside me, and it made me do it.
Grady for sure has the same exact bedding as DJ Tanner from Full House.
Oh, really?
Same bed, same everything. And he also has a poster on his wall of a dog in a red dress wearing sunglasses. And I looked it up because we were trying so hard to figure out what this was. Uh-huh. And it's actually, because it looks like nonsense, but it's a Frank Zappa album.
Oh, okay. So the jock's into Frank Zappa, huh?
Cool. He's into, yeah, and it's Them or Us album. So if you guys are wondering and you're like one of those weirdos like me, he also has a Stray Cats album poster like on his wall, like the Stray Cats.
Yeah.
But I just was watching it and rewatching it.
And couldn't get that out of your head, huh?
So I had to do a Google search of the image. Because I was like, what is Grady into? What is this?
Yeah, Grady is an anomaly.
Grady is an anomaly. Enigma. So yeah, Jesse says he's scared because there's something trying to get into this body, yada, yada.
Yeah, there's something inside of him. It made him go
Grady
into
says, yeah, she's female and she's in the cabana.
Like, how did he know?
I don't know.
How did he know that's where Lisa was?
And you can tell that's not what Jesse wants to hear.
Right.
Grady says...
And he says something happened with
And
Lisa.
he says, and you want to sleep here with me? And he says, yeah, kind of. Like, Grady.
Yeah, well, yeah. And he says, you're seriously losing it. And he's like, and Jesse finally convinces him, just let me stay, I'm scared.
And he
Grady's
pulls
like,
the old
fine.
tried and true Nancy thing, which is like, you watch me sleep.
Watch me
something
sleep.
Weird happens.
Don't fall asleep.
Don't fall asleep. A la Glenn.
Yeah. And if something
it
weird
didn't turn
happens,
out so good for Glenn.
No.
Okay.
And so, come back to the party. Lisa's worried about Jesse, so she goes.
And she feels like she should go find him.
She goes to. She wants to go find
party.
him.
You stay.
Yeah, you stay at your party, but whatever.
Let Nelly go figure out his own problem.
Yeah, let him figure it out on his own. But anyway, so Grady's watching back at his house, is watching Jesse, and he starts to doze off
because there's nothing good on TV.
Because there's nothing good on TV, and immediately Jesse like wakes up and tells Grady. He's like, it's happening again.
It's happening.
And he looks down at his hand, and blades start to come out of his hand.
Come out of his fingers.
Yeah, come out of his fingers. Like the glove, obviously.
Yes. And Grady is yelling at his dad because he's like, this is not
He's
okay.
freaking out. He's seeing this happen.
And he cannot, for the life of him, figure out how to open this door.
Yeah.
He's trying so hard.
Right. The door's locked.
In Springwood, the doorknobs do not work.
Yeah.
They're just for show.
And Jesse's skin starts to peel off of his arm.
And Freddy's face starts to come out of his chest
Freddy's
and break
face
free. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool effect.
It's a cool effect. I mean, the effects are all right in this, I'm going to say. But
I hate who did Freddy's makeup in this movie.
It didn't
so
look
sorry.
right.
I'm sure you did other great work. This is not it for me.
It wasn't great. No.
This is not the face we love.
No. No. And then Jesse opens his mouth to scream, and you see like an eyeball.
Eyeballs in the mouth.
Just looking around. And Freddy's face again, was stretching out of the tummy, and Grady's like...
Grady's dad is at the door.
Yeah,
Grady's at the door.
The parents are outside trying to get in.
And he says, open this door. And I says, does no one in this house know how to open a doorknob?
And he's like, this is your father. Open this door.
This is your father. The one you've been screaming for the past 10 minutes.
You can obviously hear Grady trying to get out. Like, this door is not opening, but whatever, Dad. Keep yelling.
Yeah, Freddy grows to like strangle him, and he stabs him through the door, and the dad sees like
the blades come through the
blades
door.
and the blood like come
and
through.
So he's like
and his dad's like trying to like break the door down, and then Freddy's gone. Yeah, leaving Jesse to stare at his dead friend. He starts crying.
Well, Jesse sees Freddy in the mirror, and he throws the glove at him and breaks the mirror.
Yeah,
and so and then so while they're trying to get in the door, Jesse leaves through the window.
Yeah,
I guess is how he got in. Is through the window, maybe.
Why did they not just go out the window?
I don't know.
Why is he banging on the door so hard when he could have just gone out the fucking window?
I don't know.
Were you trying to commit suicide?
Sometimes you're not thinking clearly whenever there's a severely burned man in your room.
Because, I'm just like a throwback. This also happened in Slumber Party Massacre where they could have just gone out the window.
Just jumped out the window.
I think it's a bunch of teenagers with suicidal tendencies.
Yeah. Like they
don't really want to get out.
They are asking for this.
What were they wearing? So, anyways, fast forward to the party.
Yeah.
We're just going to go back to the party.
Yeah, he goes back to the party, and Lisa's leaving at that time to go find Jesse, and they run at each other at the door. And Jesse's like...
Oh, wait, I have to mention that when he's getting ready to jump out the window, the police are already there. You can hear sirens. Police are already there.
Immediately there.
And I said, already? And my boyfriend pointed out that it is a white neighborhood. So, of course
it was there.
Of course the police are already there. They just knew that there was a white child in trouble, and they came running.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Right.
If Grady were black, fuck that kid.
Yeah, but Jesse gets away.
Jesse gets away. And
then so at the party, he tells Lisa again.
He tells Lisa that he killed Grady.
He killed Grady, and it's happening. Yeah, he's covered in blood, and she's like, "Hang on,
oh my gosh, are you hurt? What's happening?" He says, "I killed Coach. I'm scared.
It's happening again."
He skips right over how so excited he is.
Yeah,
so it's fine. And he says, "Freddy wants to take him again. Freddy wants to take me again.
He wants to take me again.
It's a little gay.
So
he's gonna take me again."
And Lisa's like, you can fight this.
And this never would have happened if Zach Morris was here, but that's fine.
Well,
Freddy is the Dom, and
don't have a crossover.
He says he owns me. Yeah. Yes, Daddy. And then the pool starts to sizzle, and the hot dogs are catching on fire.
Yeah,
and they're exploding.
And Lisa's telling him to fight it. He's living off your fear. You can fight this. You can destroy him.
She's a good cheerleader, I guess.
She is, but it's too late.
Anyways, so like the hot dogs are on fire and they're popping and exploding, and they're cheap hot dogs, Dad. You got the cheap ones.
You got the cheap ones.
These are not Hebrew National. These are Bar S.
These are Bar S.
And the beer's exploding, and then Lisa reads the last page of Nancy's diary because she's just like, you know what's gonna help? Let's do some reading.
No,
we're gonna do some light reading.
Let's consult the book.
Let's consult the diary.
And so...
he's yelling, Freddy's coming back, and he grabs his little tum-tum, and he's really... Get this guy some Pepto.
Right. He eventually just turns into Freddy.
And my boyfriend said, are we not sure that he didn't just have Taco Bell? Maybe he just had some Taco Bell.
Could be it.
That's what's causing the weird dreams and everything.
Fire sauce.
It is. Burns right through you.
Right, just right through you.
Everything's exploding, and we see Jesse has turned into Freddy. He's behind the whatever desk or whatever, and Lisa's running. And she tries to get to the door. Again, no one knows how to open the door.
Everything stays... Well, it'll show, like, the door locking, so he's doing it. He's locking the door and, like, trapping them to do this. Because, again, he's got new powers in this movie.
Just unlock the door.
I know, right? Just unlock it.
Just do this. He's got a glove on.
I know,
He can't do it.
trying to get
It's like those
to
girls with the long nails who can't like figure out how to
can't
open
wipe
anything.
their own butt, but okay. Anyway.
I said, who made the locks in this town? Good work, you guys. Good work. for
Good
people who
work,
made the locks in this
everybody.
town.
And he
So,
tackles her and
He grabs her and he bites
he
her.
bites her on the leg.
He turns cannibal all of a sudden.
I know. And
not
then
not your best work, Freddy. You got that
No.
whole fucking glove and you go to biting like a goddamn dog.
like a toddler.
So she grabs a knife and his makeup is so bad and he says, "Kill me" in Jesse's voice.
Yeah, Jesse's
she's
voice says, "Kill me."
Stabbing at him like
She's
"Meh."
stabbing, and it's doing
Jesse,
nothing.
Jesse.
Jesse, please kill me. And it says nothing, and Jesse's voice says,
And then
I
she
love
goes
you,
to go to
Lisa.
stab him, but it's the dullest knife ever, and it does
It
nothing.
does nothing.
Bush League.
Yeah.
This house. They spent all that money on that pool.
Right.
Their knives are shit.
Right.
Not good.
Right. And then Jesse's voice says, I love you, Lisa.
I said maybe the doorknob people also made the knives
Yeah.
because they're just shitty.
Acme.
Acme.
Acme products.
Yes. Fucking coyotes in the background with the whatever. So, and he isn't wearing the glove. The talons are coming out of his hand. This
Yeah.
is dumb. Freddy's not even wearing the glove.
Yeah, it's
They're
now
in his fingies.
Now it's coming out of his fingers. Well,
I
I
don't
guess
like
because
this.
he's coming out of Jesse's body.
No glove, no love, Freddy Krueger. I don't like
again,
this.
the rule. I don't know the rules. What are the rules? Okay.
There are. It's just nothing.
So
Shenanigans. The
So-
party stops and everyone's calming down a little bit, and then Freddy bursts out of the fucking.
yeah, he grabs her and tells her in his voice, "I love you, Lisa." And then Jesse, I guess, from
He
within.
just moved to town. These kids are.
Well, no, that was Freddy saying at that time. He says, "I love you, Lisa," and then Jesse from within his body.
Freddy, you don't even know this girl.
Right,
You don't love her.
right. But Jesse throws her out of the way,
I guess.
looking like Freddy, but it's Jesse. He throws her out of the way, and that's when he jumps out the
I'm
window.
upset. I don't like it.
Let's discuss how he jumps out of this window, though.
Okay.
He jumps out the window, it shatters, everybody at the party looks to see what happens, and he freaking disappears.
Yeah.
Into nothingness. Just, he disappears. Not like he runs away, he disappears.
You can't have dream powers in the real world.
That's what makes him weak.
This is America. You can't just disappear out of nowhere and then burn all these goddamn hot dogs that this guy spent all
Right.
of $1.50 on. This is not okay.
Yeah.
You're ruining a pool party for no reason.
Yeah, and so for a few minutes, everything returns back to normal at the
Yeah,
party.
everyone gets real calm for a minute.
Everybody's like, whoa,
And
what
he explodes
happened?
kind of out of the patio and he starts chasing all the kids
Yeah,
down.
he
Just randomly slashing, killing random
He
kids.
jumps out of the sidewalk and just starts slashing.
Who's paying for
He's
that?
having a good
Who's
time.
Does
Best
Freddy
party
have,
ever.
Does Freddy have good insurance? Because someone's paying for that sidewalk to get refinished. You
You
think that this yucky
good
ass
luck
dad in the
catching 'em.
80s is not going to make him pay for that? They're getting sued for sure.
And he's throwing these kids around at the barbecue and he's slashing and everything, and then he tells the party goers, "You are all my children
And
now."
these kids are trying to jump the fence, and then it shows one kid just straight up getting trampled to death by the other kids.
Right. This
His head is crushed.
is a horrible
This is
party.
terrible. And this guy comes up to me, he's like, "It's gonna be all right."
gonna
I'm
be-
like, "Kid, don't be a hero.
That one guy that's like, "Calm down,
Calm down, man." And Freddy Krueger is not having
He
this.
just throws him into the barbecue.
Yeah, he gets barbecue.
And so Dad and Mom are let out of their room finally.
But it's kind of funny because the kid's like, "It's gonna be all right. We're gonna get you some help." And that kid, Freddy Krueger says, "Help yourself, fucker." He's not a good Freddy in this one, but he does have some fun lines.
he's sassy.
This is the sassy Freddy that I love.
Sassy Freddy.
Sassy Freddy is my favorite Freddy. So yeah,
Dad comes out with a gun.
That is the cool shot though when he does say that though, where it's like the flames are all behind him and he's like, "You're all my children now." Like it looks kind of cool with the flames.
It does, yeah. The imagery was okay.
But again, isn't Freddy scared of fire? Like, isn't Freddy like
He's
he
supposed
doesn't
to be.
like fire?
He's supposed to be, but he brings it with him this time.
Okay, whatever.
And so Dad brings out a gun, misses him, and then Lisa stops him from
like
firing
this is a
again.
dream person that came out of nowhere. You think?
Yeah,
a
but
gun's
he's
gonna
using
kill him?
Jesse's body right now, remember? So Lisa stops him from firing again. And that's whenever Freddy's like out of here, like Bugs Bunny style, and he jumps out
through the fence. He like reversed Homer Simpsons. Like
Yeah.
he Homer Simpsons into the bush, into the fence,
Yeah, in a ball of flame.
in a ball of flames.
Yeah, and then Freddy's gone. So Lisa turns around and she's like, "I'm out," and she
I gotta go to the power plant, Dad.
She didn't even tell. Nobody stops her. She just leaves.
Yeah,
she goes
just
to the
leaves.
power plant. Teenage girl.
Dead kids everywhere.
Dead kids everywhere, and she's like, "I'm out of
Just
here.
leaves your dad
I'm just gonna leave
to
my
deal with
party to go find."
I gotta get out of here. I
So-
gotta go.
She goes back to the old power plant where Freddy used to work.
She jumps in Jesse's car. She takes Jesse's car to the power plant.
Well,
Does she know how to hotwire a car?
I don't know. It doesn't need keys, so she's ridden to school with him several times. She's learned a lot from him.
So then she passes 2 Rottweilers that have people faces.
They have people face,
Why?
and I actually
Why?
rewound it a couple times trying to see if maybe they looked like somebody or anything.
No,
And
Freddy's
it's
just a weird
like-
dude.
it's
Freddy's
just-
a weird
they
dude, and
just
he
have
really like.
people faces.
Yeah.
And they don't even like attack her. They just let her walk on in. They're horrible guard dogs. They're like, ah.
You know what it was?
Have a good
probably
day.
They probably had a little bit extra money with the budget, and they're like, you know what would be cool? Dogs
gonna-
with people faces.
We're gonna put a mask on a
Someone
dog.
was super high, and they're like, you know, it'd be so funny. Dogs with people faces.
So I don't know why the dogs were there, but they were there.
But yeah, anyway. So, and also she's wearing a completely different outfit.
Yeah.
And she has a bow in her hair.
I guess she
because
changed before she left.
She's like, I gotta look good.
Yeah.
This is my final scene.
Well, yeah.
I want to look great.
Yeah.
For this. So yeah, and then
So she's walking around the power plant, and there's like
She
steam.
burns herself on a pipe.
Yeah, there's steam and hot pipes everywhere.
Because is it even a Freddy Krueger movie
if there's not hot things,
if you're not burnt by a pipe?
yeah, or a furnace or anything.
Yeah,
that
you gotta
put
get
your
burned by
hand on.
something.
So yeah, and she's walking around,
And then she imagines ants or something are on her open
she
wound.
feels
and
something
she's
on
like,
her.
"Ah!"
Yeah, on her bite. There's
Yeah.
ants on it, but then she looks again, and they're not there. So it was just her,
And then you see a
imagination.
giant rat and a
She
giant
sees,
cat
like-
eats it.
She sees a demonic rat, and she's like, ah! And then a demonic cat jumps out and eats it, and that's a wrap on the cat and the rat. Like,
Freddy's really into
Filler.
some animal play in this one. He likes to play with different animals.
so much filler in this.
He's being creative because you know what? He spent most of the movie just
yeah.
hanging out with this gay kid who screams all the time. And
Right.
he's super bored.
And then she keeps walking around on these scaffolding and everything, and she's
She
cornered.
runs. She falls.
Yeah, all that
Freddy
stuff.
cuts her off.
She's cornered by Freddy.
He's
and
taunting
then,
her as he does.
and then she keeps trying to like reason with
She's
Jesse
like,
inside.
Jesse.
I love you, Jesse.
I love you, Jesse.
And it does
Because that will terrify a teenage boy. I don't know why she
yeah,
chose that
right.
tactic.
Teenage gay boy.
Teenage gay boy, he don't even remember your name now. 'cause
Right.
You're just psychotically following him everywhere, screaming
Right.
about how much you love him.
Right.
Boys don't
And
like
as she's telling Freddy, I love you, and Freddy, it gives him pause, and he
And this
starts,
is when I realize Jessie is not the final girl. She's the final
she's
girl.
the final girl. Jesse's not the final
They
girl.
changed this entire movie midway where they're like, you know what? This guy's not sympathetic. He just screams all the
He
time.
just screams, yeah.
She's the final girl. So that's fine.
So Freddy starts to bleed.
He gets weaker when
And
she
he
kept
starts-
talking about how much she loves Jesse.
Yeah.
He's getting her love is making him weak.
yeah, and she tells Freddy she's not afraid of him, and she's
I'm
gonna
not
take,
afraid of you.
yeah, I'm gonna take Jesse away from you.
She
and-
kisses Freddy.
yeah, and she keeps talking to Jesse. I love you. Come back to me. Yada yada. And
It's weird.
Freddy, she kneels down in front of Freddy and then
when she
makes
kisses-
out with him.
When she kisses Freddy, I say, "Girl, your taste in men is getting significantly worse.
It's just getting worse, but
It's getting bad. Everything catches fire.
Yeah, and then Freddy
Freddy's
catches on fire.
and his face is melting.
Everything's melting.
which looks kind of cool,
it looks
I guess.
cool. Good effects,
But I hate it, and it's not right. And he slumps
because he
over
just gives up and kind of falls over, like
into a
that's
little
it.
charred little ball.
Yeah,
And he just
the fire goes
the fire's
out,
gone.
and Freddy's charred body's laying there, but it starts to get up. But it's not Freddy anymore.
No, Jesse's like breaking free. Out
Jesse's
of it.
breaking free. Freddy's skin is peeling off,
peeling
and
it
Jesse's
off.
okay. And Lisa and Jesse
His-
embrace.
I said he's peeling his little Freddy flesh suit off.
yeah,
It's just breaking, coming out of his shell.
coming
a
out of
little
his
bit.
shell.
Coming out of his closet, if you will.
Maybe this is
Freddy-
exactly what he needed.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah,
For coming
yeah.
out of the closet. Sometimes you need your girlfriend
yeah.
to tell you that she loves you anyway, no matter what.
And then you realize I don't want this,
And you come out of your
and you come out of your
come
Freddy
out of your
shell.
Freddy shell, and you can just be your
And
gay
you can
self.
be who you
And
want.
we appreciate that.
Yes,
we support that.
We support you
Here at the B List, we support our gay
Absolutely.
brethren. We love
Absolutely.
you guys.
We love you. Get that Freddy skin off you.
Get that Freddy skin off you.
So they embrace, and it's over.
And
It's
you know,
over now. I
it's
guess.
a very platonic hug.
Yeah.
And
so
I guess once you've had Freddy Krueger in your guts, you know that you like the D, and it's fine.
that's fine.
It's fine.
That's fine.
It's fine.
But they can stay friends.
It's fine. I demand that you put like a gay, like an ally, something here.
But we do cut back.
Yeah, we cut back.
We cut back to the bus.
Yeah, we're on the bus
of
again.
movie, and
And why is he taking the bus? This is how we know there's something wrong, because he has a fucking car. Why is he on the bus?
right. But he's all smiles with his mom as it pulls up.
Jesse does, when he leaves to get onto the bus, he does a little hip hip hooray, little like
Like a little ha-ha. And he says hi to Lisa on the bus, and they give each other like a little peck.
Yep, they're all in there.
And her friend leans over and says, "That was a really great party." Like, did you leave the party early? Are you talking about the one where
the same party
where Freddy showed up?
Freddy showed up, murdered some kids,
Killed everybody.
and then ended with a dad with a shotgun in the yard. This is the party you're talking about?
Okay.
This is fine.
And
it's
then,
fine.
Yeah. And then Jesse's like,
And the bus driver is going too fast.
Yeah. Well, he says, "I can't believe it's all actually over." And Lisa's like, "I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it. Let's not discuss it."
And then he's like, "Is it just me or is the bus going too fast?"
It's just me. The bus is going kind of fast. And he freaks out and tells the driver to stop.
Yeah.
And then it slows down for another student.
Yeah.
And they're like,
"Oh, it's fine."
okay. But then Freddy's glove comes out through the friend on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And then it drives back into Sedona, into the wilderness.
It's back into the wilderness.
For a little road trip. The end.
The end. Ambiguous ending, always. The end.
And
that's part
that's
two.
Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, you guys.
Freddy's revenge. Although, who was he getting revenge on? Like,
I think
this
it was
is a new group of people.
I think it was revenge against the lovers of Freddy. I think is what it
That
was.
Taco Bell he had.
I guess.
That was his revenge. Montezuma's revenge.
Montezuma got nothing on me, son.
Got
I
nothing.
guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't appreciate any of what happened here.
Right.
I feel like I want to wash my eyeballs out. So,
I got a little trivia.
let's hear it.
Okay. Freddy Krueger's only in this movie for about 13 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like Robert Englund was like, fuck this entire movie. I'm going to get paid. You're not using my face.
But what's interesting about it is that people were complaining he wasn't in it enough.
Yeah.
But he was on it almost double what he was in from the first Nightmare on Elm Street. He was only in the first Nightmare on Elm Street 7 minutes.
Okay, but his presence in the first one was so much better.
It was a lot thicker, a lot of body in that. But he had almost double this amount of screen time actually.
Well, and I feel like they went on to make him have even more screen time probably in the later ones. Like, we haven't done those ones yet, but like, he definitely was in those ones.
Yeah.
more.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they learned from this one. They're like, okay, so what we don't want to do is any of that.
Right.
But what we're going to do is bring him in more.
Right.
Maybe Robert Englund had more say-so in those. I don't know. I don't know what made the other, like, 3, 4, 5, 6, like, those ones so much better than this one. I just know that this one was not. I think
that also the effects started to get better. You know, we were progressing in
and we knew
movies
now we know who Freddy is. Like, he definitely kills people, but he does it with a little sass. He does it with a little pizzazz. He has like his one-liners. He has like his.
They really got to feel out and flesh out the character a little bit better in the first two movies. Like, this is what people respond to. This is what they don't. And then because the third one freaked me the hell out. Because the things that
fucking slapped and hit in the first one were like. You know, where he has, like, his, like, little tongue in the phone moment. Like, he was a little
coming
funny.
out of the bathtub.
He was funny.
He
had, like, it was quirky. It was interesting. It wasn't just slashing, killing people.
Right.
He had a little sass to it. He had a little zest.
Tease. Because he was a diddler. He liked to tease.
He wants to tease you a little bit before he straight up guts you.
Yeah. Robert Englund also said that Freddy's Revenge was his least favorite Nightmare on Elm Street.
And he would know.
And like I had mentioned before, he's like, when he was filming, he recalls several moments. He said this in the Never Sleep Again documentary. Yeah. That he was like the pool sequence, that he's appearing to teenagers outside of their dreams. That's not what we established. And so
that's not what he
really
does.
did not enjoy that part of the movie.
Because if you bring this man out of his dreams, he is a burn victim who's going to be in a lot of fucking pain.
Right. He's not
going to be wearing a glove going out there murdering people.
Yeah, and somehow he's bringing his magic to the real world, too.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. And the school that they used in this film was also the same school they used in Karate Kid. And the boiler room...
That would have been a good crossover. I want to see Daniel from Karate Kid just, like, crane kick this guy in the face.
Right, just get him. Also, the factory, steelworks, whatever.
Yeah.
The power plant, as it was in this movie. It's the same steel works that they used in Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
That would
at
also
the
been a
end.
great crossover.
So that would have been a
Let
great
me see
one
the
too.
Terminator come and kill
Yeah.
Freddy.
Did you also know that Michael J. Fox was considered for the role of Jesse, but was unable to do that because he was filming Back to the Future and Teen Wolf at the same time?
That was a better
So,
choice for him. He
yeah.
knew what he was doing there.
And lastly, Wes Craven, that directed the other film, the first film especially, he wasn't into this film because he said the script was substandard and it really took, again, too many liberties with the character of Freddy.
Yes.
And he hated the pool scene the most.
Yes, because it's not...
He just couldn't take Freddy killing teens that were taller than him. Like, he's out in the real world. He's just slashing up a bunch of big kids.
He's like, I think Robert England's what, like
He's a little guy.
5'8", 5'9".
Yeah,
He's not a giant. He's not like 6-footer.
Yeah,
he's not like a big
he's
dude.
not like, you know, Jason Voorhees or anything like
Right.
that. He was just a
Right.
little guy, but yeah. So there you have it. All done.
I'm sad.
We would cover more Nightmare on Elm Street movies for you, but we really like them, so it's hard to like.
So
harp on
maybe, but I'm gonna put a maybe on it
them. Okay.
because I really like them. Mm-hmm. But I don't know that I could drag them because I just really like
I can't
them.
drag them. Maybe
Unless
we
it's like an appreciation.
Yeah,
like,
maybe we just need to do an appreciation one for 3 especially. Like 3 really was the one that stood out to me.
3 was my favorite. 4 and 5 I feel like go together.
Yeah.
Because they're both Alice. So
Right.
they both go together. 6 is fine.
They were all better than 2.
All
They
better
just
than
were
2.
all better than 2.
Yeah.
And that's my
They could be
final-
called Nightmare on Elm Street, all better than 2. That's what they could have been
Yeah.
called.
At least it's not 2.
At least it's not 2. But maybe we'll do like a Freddy versus Jason or something like that. Would be fun to do.
some
Maybe
of
we'll
those
do
are
that.
kind of a little hard to get through a little sometimes.
Yeah.
They're fun though.
I don't know.
But
We'll
anyway.
see. But always, if you like these videos, like, subscribe,
yeah.
tell all your friends.
Share us.
If you hate these videos, tell people that you hate. Maybe they'll
Watch
put them
us
on,
anyway.
borrow their phones and make them subscribe to us anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So we'll see you guys next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.